What do I do when the campaign is no longer generating leads? And again, this is for like Facebook ads specific. This is not for a campaign that you turned on and it's not working. We don't know why. I mean like a campaign that was working and then goes to hell really, really fast. So we're gonna chapter this baby up and hopefully we can answer this question right here. What do I do when a campaign is no longer generating leads? So there's a couple things that we're gonna get out of the way really fast that are like the standard way of thinking, not the alternative way of thinking of why you're here. The standard way of thinking would be something like, let me just put this right here. How I think about this problem. So one of the first things that is like the standard way of thinking is, which is such a jackassly asshole, like if you ever have a kid that like grew up with tech and they tell you, did you try turning it on and off again? It's like the simultaneous, like sometimes correct answer, but also like insulting answer. And I don't mean to communicate that to you, David, but what I mean is like, I've had people tell me this, like, but did you try turning on and off? And I'm like, oh, I hate you. And then sometimes it works. This is not the real answer that you're looking for. We're just putting him on here so it's on here and anybody else can watch this. So A, did you try turning it on and off again? And the Facebook version of that is called a quick duplicate. That's you keep everything the same. Oh, what is going on here? Keep everything the same. Duplicate the ad set, not the campaign, not the ad, but the ad set. Duplicate it, turn off the original. Cool, quick duplicate. Sometimes that works. Then next up, and these are in no particular order, by the way. Also, this is not an endorsement of this process. Don't come back to me like, oh my God, Jeff, I did all this stuff and it didn't work. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing stuff on the wall right here. This is just like basic knowledge for me. There's the quick duplicate, and then there's the plan with the radius. So you can go plus a mile, minus a mile, plus 5 miles, minus 10 miles, something like that. You can do that at the ad set level, do that under the quick duplicate. So you can quick duplicate, keep it the same, and or quick duplicate and then play with the radius. And then you can also play with the audience. So here by playing with the audience, what I mean is like, is it homeowners or is it everybody? Is it people on the email list who look like? Is it 15 to 35, not 30, 39 to 49? Like do some dick and rounds and seeing what happens. Again, this is the technical stuff, not the strategy, not client communication. This is technical stuff. And then there's always the, oh, here we go. So you can play with the audience, AKA the targeting. Come on. So there's a quick duplicate, play with the radius, play with the audience, and just generally like, you can also do play with the targeting if you want, right? So audience would be your custom audience or lookalike audience, something like that. Targeting, I should put lists. Playing around with the list and then playing with the targeting. So like, are you targeting homeowners? Are you targeting the Home Depot people? Are you targeting this, that, all that fun stuff, right? So this is the playing with the ad set. This is the technical stuff. Nobody here is watching this show to learn about technical stuff, but in case you're watching the replay and it's brand new, it's there. There you go. Here's some other stuff I would really recommend people kind of put in their brain parts and add this to your checklist of stuff that could work. That is not technical, which is probably why you're here. First things first is a new offer. There are many different ways of communicating the same offer, differently refreshed. It does not have to be a brand new offer. It could just be a refreshed offer. So some industries have like, it's spring, and these are the things that work in spring, and summer, and fall, and winter. Most men's magazines know that if they start advertising abs during winter, their sales actually go down. But if they advertise abs in spring and summer, their sales go up. So they knew that like, hey, spring and summer, it's time to advertise abs, right? So it's totally possible that you have some type of seasonality which is affecting your offer. That's a range of possibility. But what I mean by a refreshed offer is there's a difference between 2-for-1 versus 50% off. If you're running an offer that's 50% off, now it's a 2-for-1. Just change the Canva, change the image, change the verbiage, the text. Now you're not doing 50% off your purchase, you're doing get 2 for 1. Cool. And let's just say it's lawn care, right? Get 2, or lawn mowing, get 2 lawn mowings for the price of 1. It's the same dollars as 50% off a lawn mowing, but it's a totally different visceral marketing dollar-driven reaction. So 2 for 1 versus 50% off. You can do, as an example, $10 off your first service. You can say, introducing same day service. It's essentially the same stuff that your client is doing with their same offer. All you're doing is rewording it and playing with people's heartstrings and emotions. I just yanked on my exchange for money and emphasizing or de-emphasizing certain parts. As an example, Tesla has both electric cars, right? That's pretty cool. High modern modern art, is that the right term? It's like very Mad Men style interior, and you never have to like go to a normal gas station, go to the electric stuff. And so electric gas station. And depending upon certain markets, certain people emphasize and de-emphasize and pay attention to not. The way Tesla got me was with the electric car. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You got my attention. And then I did not take action at all until they put in chargers next to my house and then ran an ad saying, hey, you can now charge next to your house. It's the same car. The chargers have always been there. They just put one next to it and then they just refresh the ad. They're like, hey, it's different. It's the same thing. It's unique. It's different. It's the same thing. Emphasizing the camera versus emphasizing the quality of the screen versus emphasizing battery life. Same thing. Just refresh the offer. And instead of refreshing, we're going to call it different emphasis. I'm pretty confident, David, that you can create a new ad or a new offer by having a different emphasis on something that already exists. And I'm trying not to share your niche, but I feel like you understand what I'm saying. Again, with like Starbucks, they'd be like, hey, we now have immediate same-day service. You're like, you've always had that. It's the same cup of coffee. Oh, now it's like, what is it? Renewable farmers or something like that? Or I don't know the term. It's the same stuff. They just different ad for different reasons, different emphasis. So that's something you can do right there. Next up is you can have something that my CEO calls holiday special. Oh my God, it's Christmas. We're doing a Christmas special. Yeah, for a limited time, you can get a $3,000 thing for only $2,000. It's a holiday special. It's the same thing they've always run. They've always run, you can get a $3,000 thing for $2,000. It's like, it's the holiday special. They're just using an excuse and a reasoning behind the special. And there's something like deeply strange and psychological about like, but why are you doing this? And the answer is like, because it's Christmas. Oh, okay. Because it's the Super Bowl. Great. Cool. Because the NBA playoffs are coming out. I don't think the NBA does playoffs. But you know what I mean? It's just like a holiday special. And so what you're going to do is instead of saying holiday, you're going to use any damn reason or excuse. So that could be a holiday. That could be a sports thing. You can tell I don't do sports very well. Anything that you expect. You can be like going away, new employee, expanding, new technology, all that stuff, like any damn reason. And this does not have to be a different offer or a new offer or anything else that you're already doing. You're just changing the emphasis. So your ad could be something like, hey, all right, let's just pretend that you sell art, right? You're like, hey, for a limited time, you can get this $3,000 piece of art for only $2,000. And we're doing this because we have a brand new employee and they're making amazing art and we want to support him on his or her journey. And what we're doing is we're taking 50% off all of our art for the next 15 people, simply so we can get get his amazing art in your hands today. Cool. We got a new employee. Great. We gotta sell some stuff. You could say like, hey, the reason why we're doing this 50% off is because we're hiring an employee. We got to keep their books full and make sure he's got lots of work. Cool. You could do something like, hey, it's Super Bowl weekend, and you should probably make sure that your front yard doesn't look like trash. So for a limited time, for only for the next 15 people, we're getting $20 off our lawn care service. Right? All you're doing is giving a different darn reason, and it could be a different ad, a new ad, a current ad, but you're just changing the verbiage and the emphasis. Again, it's in the Canva, and it's in the art, and it's in the flyer itself. Next thing you can do, you can do what I love to do. This is like the easiest thing in the world. It's super fun. Take what's working for someone else and do it for your company. This is my fun one. We're now testing out an offer of like, hey, for $7.99, we will install the ads of your direct competition into your ad account, and you can pay Facebook directly. You don't have to pay us ever again. We're just going to install the ads. They will work and ring directly to your phone, and you now have blank, blank, and blank, which is really interesting. So one of the reasons why we're doing that is because people might respond to it, so we're going to do it. And so what you could do is do something very, very similar, not installing the ads, but looking at what other people are doing and then taking that offer. I think you and I went through like a Tony Stark garage training, which didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. But all I did was look up people in the HVAC industry and get their offers, see if they're running it, and then put it into my own ad account. And now you've got something that works pretty well. Over here is the technical side. Like this is, you could click this, click that, look through the manual, and then you're good. Over here is more like a thinking parts. Like how do we get something new, different, and exciting? I'm under the assumption that you've been running ads for a while, and if somebody has seen it and they haven't taken action, they're probably not going to take action again. Like there's only so many times you can see an actual ad before it blends into the background. The craziest part is walking around with Jordan and Katie, who do about $300,000 a month with their business right now, and they're smart, driven, motivated, and we're walking around downtown Miami. And they're like, did something change with that billboard? Like, what are you talking about? They're like, it used to say Coco K, and now it says Maluma. And I was like, we've been walking around that thing for 6 months now. It has never changed. We only noticed when it was gone, right? When something was different, when something was unique and something all of a sudden disappeared. Like, what about our environment is different? I believe, David, in your scenario, you are running ads that people have seen and decided to not take action. And there's not a lot of gain left over by hammering somebody with an ad for the 15th time versus hammering somebody with the ad for the 16th time. But there is something to gain by changing the emphasis. And it's the same ad, it's the same offer. It's a different ad at the same offer. So 2-to-1 versus 50% off, $10 off your next service, same day service. It's just emphasizing different parts in the actual ad itself for your client's offer. And think of like what your client does, like a value stack, like everything in it. You're emphasizing certain parts. By the way, I do this with my client relationships. Like I've had clients that, oh my God, you do a soap opera sequence. That we do. We will sit you down with our copywriter, with our storyteller, with our chief storyteller, who will pull an amazing story out of you that gets people interested in buying what you have to sell. And we know this works because people buy stories first and their product second. Like everybody knows Kim Kardashian. And then they buy her stuff. So we'll do the same for you. They're like, oh my God, that's like everything I've ever wanted. Like, yes, it is. It's part of our Facebook ads Wallet Up campaign program. Same program, different emphasis. And I'll bet when we run ads saying like, hey, we will do your PR marketing for you and make sure you become famous and a local celebrity, it's the same thing we've already been doing, but different emphasis. Here's another thing. So we do this with our customer getting ads, and you can ask my CEO if you pay for her time, right? But she will run any darn reason or excuse specials. Like, hey, we have a new piece of equipment. We got a new chair. We got a new machine. We got a new truck. We got to keep it busy. I mean, in pest control, it's totally acceptable to be like, hey, we just hired 5 people for your area, and we got to get them moving. And that's why I'm willing to do a 50% off your first treatment today. It's totally acceptable to say that, especially as somebody who understands how business works. Like, yeah, you just hired an employee, got to keep him busy. Perfect, right? So when you want to sign up. Holidays, sports stuff, going away. Like, hey, we're going away for 3 weeks. And actually, that's probably a bad thing. But whatever reason, you understand what we're talking about. So this is technical stuff, and this is strategy. This is probably why people are paid more as an ad agency versus why people are paid less over here. This is technical stuff. This is strategy. And so what you could do is just say, hey, we're expanding, same offer, same ad, just change the emphasis. That's it. You could say, hey, we're doing same day service. You could say, hey, this is what another company is doing and it's working for them. And then you can just literally go and create a new campaign, run it to the same audience, and it's a different thing altogether. And I think it will be mind blown about how many people all of a sudden start responding to it. They're like, oh, that's different. Apple, by the way, changes their creative every 6 to 8 weeks. That's it. Every 6 to 8 weeks, there's a different ad running in my area. And I know because it's on the billboard, and every 6 to 8 weeks, it's a different billboard for Apple. And it's like a local artist or the camera or how like the watch and the Apple fits together. It's always different. That's it. So David, I hope that gives you a way to think about this type of stuff. Again, you can run the same offer with a different emphasis. You will have to recreate the ad, but it's totally fine. Just type it out. Go to Canva, create a new thing. You can say like, hey, holiday special, get this right now. It's the same thing that's always been running, just a different reason behind it. And reasons make sense for people, and that's why they act sometimes. Or literally just go to your competitors' ads and have a good time. There's also a different thing altogether that you can do that we are not yet covering, but soon will be with masterclasses. The first things first is you can GMB work plus YouTube ads. And you don't have to combine them. These are just a way of communicating. These are like upcoming masterclasses. So you can go into their GMB, do some updates, changes, all that fun stuff, and increase their ranking and increase their phone calls. You can start running YouTube ads, which are more effective than Facebook ads with less variability. And YouTube honestly doesn't care what you say. It's hilarious. Like once you get tagged as a digital marketer, you will see the most insane non-compliant YouTube ads, and YouTube does not care at all whatsoever. Here's something else you can do to pop the numbers. Put a chat widget on their website. And if they get like 1 visit a day or 3 visits a day or 5 visits a day, some of those people will ask a question, which now all of a sudden counts as a lead. Great. And you can set up some automation to where like, hey, thanks so much for faster service, call us now, or please wait 30 seconds for an operator to come on board. And that's you or your VA responding by text message or them or something like that. And that works pretty well too. You can also, by the way, set up a referral program. Like you can send out a big old text message or an email saying, hey, it looks like not too long ago you signed up for our XYZ service. I'm super happy that you're satisfied. Wanted to let you know for you and only 10 other people actually introducing a referral program. So if you know of anybody else in your area that wants similar results, be sure to introduce us by text message or send us their name, number, and email. And if they become a paying client, I'd be more than happy to give you X. And X could be dollars off their next service. It could be money. It could be a Starbucks gift card, whatever it is, right? So those are like other things as well that are outside of the ads ecosystem that could be more fun, but those are often very confusing. I don't have a good idea about that just yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it. So David, just kind of give me a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. If it doesn't, you know, what am I gonna do? And for everybody watching the replay, there's no point in actually like interacting, I guess, if you're watching this on YouTube or something, because I'm not gonna like respond, right? But hey, David, I hope this moves the needle in your business and for everybody else that's watching this as well. Again, quick summary, on the right side is the technical stuff, which is not that big of a deal, but on the left side is higher value thinking and outside of the box thinking and stuff like that. So I hope that moves your needle. And maybe something froze. I don't know. We'll see. Hold on. I have to refresh. Is that working? Maybe not. Oh, we'll see what happens. So yeah, guys, if this makes sense, give me 1 in the chat, just to like make sure that I'm still online, stuff like that. And hopefully I answered your question. We actually have another question as well by a guy named Talbury. So let's see if we do this. Oh, before we move on, David says, I don't need to change the objective. You can, objective stuff is over here on the right side. 1 moment. Let me just copy and paste that real fast. Objective stuff is over here on the right. I never really had a scenario like, oh my God, my campaign isn't working. And then all of a sudden I change it from ads to landing page views or from leads to blank and conversions. Like it's never like, oh my God, maybe it's like a 5% jump or a 10% jump, maybe a 1% jump. I found the big jumps are really on the left side of the screen, not so much on the right side of the screen. You can change the objective if you want. You don't have to. What I would recommend is you don't actually do small things and like, oh, let's see if it works. I recommend you go all in, do something weird and crazy. So if you're running, let's just say a lead form with a 50% off your service, I suggest that you say, screw it, we're gonna go full on landing page views and landing pages and conversions. I shouldn't say landing page views. You go full on conversions with the landing page and do a 2-to-1 special only for the next 15 people called, hey, you forgot that it is Super Bowl tomorrow and you need to clean your house. So act now. Like, have not a slight A/B test, but a huge A/B test. Slight A/B test is how you get 1 or 2 or 5 or 10% gains. That's not what you want. You want a huge gain. And to do a huge gain, you have to do something absolutely crazy massive. So I bet a part of you, Dave, is like, oh, maybe if I just change one thing, change a lot, do a brand new campaign and have a good time.